There she goes. There she goes. I'm just kidding.
It's Wednesday, and
It
we
is
got
Wednesday. We have Pete. I know, right?
Welcome back.
He's back.
We were out. We were out for a few weeks, and then we came back, and you were missing
for a while due to work. So we all have to make a living somehow.
The captain, he is back.
Oh,
yes, indeed.
You know what's crazy about working overnight in the city? I mean, the things you see. Like honestly, every day at nighttime, there was this one junkie, right? He was a crackhead junkie and all that. He's high as a kite, probably on needles and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm working at a luxury hotel, so they got all of these bushes outside, really, really nice. For some reason, he wanted to go up to the bushes and start arguing with the bushes, talking to me, and he's telling the bushes, "I'm gonna beat you up every day." And I'm like, wondering, who's talking back to him? And I understand that he's on these drugs, so somehow he thinks someone's talking back to him. Okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's been times where I got so drunk where I'm like, the one time I got so drunk and I'm going to the bathroom and I'm like trying to go to the bathroom. But this club, I must have been like 22 or something, all right? So this club, right next to the entry of the bathroom, they have this giant mirror. And I'm like, I'm like, yo, I'm going to, and then I caught myself like 5 minutes later. I was like, oh my God, I'm arguing with myself.
Oh, of course you would.
But the thing is, I was annihilated, thrown off.
Well, I mean, to be at that point that you're talking to yourself and you don't even know it in the mirror, yeah, you gotta be.
You
gotta be.
Notice? I ain't just talking to myself. Notice I walked into the mirror and thinking that myself hit me.
Oh,
okay?
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I'm gonna beat you down, this and that. And then I started realizing, I was like, yo, why is this person following every move I'm doing? I'm like, oh wait, that's me. And I started looking around. I was like, I hope nobody saw that.
Oh my gosh, when you realize it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I know someone watching the camera saw it probably.
Could you imagine you come out on TV just for that? Look at this.
Man, talk to himself.
If that happened today, someone would have taken that video and put it online.
Yep.
Remember, this was like 20 years ago.
They would have shown up, man.
You got lucky that there were no cameras like that back in the
time. There were still flip phones.
There's so many things that I did when I was younger. And if it would say, I probably would definitely have been in trouble. Cops, this, right. Something would have happened,
You know how many people got away with all sorts of different things because they was not the technology.
And all it was probably like a simple prank, stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there were times, like I remember the one time me and my friends, we prank called like 7 cabs to my friend's house. I was like 16 years old, walking up the block, and then next minute, no, the cab drivers are arguing with each other. We just kept walking this and that. Oh my God, But they did the one time my friend prank calls a pizza party at my house, and I was like, I didn't want no pizza, so I get ready to close the door. I said, you know what? I am hungry. I got money on me. I said, what kind of pizza is that? He goes, this. I said, yo, I didn't call it, but you're delivering my house. I'll pay for it. I was like, I'm hungry right now. Thank you for coming. Oh and then I called my friend up. I knew who exactly did it. I called him up. Did you just send a pizza to my house? He goes and he starts laughing. I go, guess what? I bought it. I was hungry. Thank you.
Oh my God.
There you go.
But welcome in everybody. Today we are back in our Across the Wave show. We are going to be talking about the Port of Seattle. It's kind of like a revisit when we did the other Seattle Across the Wave a long time ago.
It was a while ago. I wasn't here. There were more. I think there were more people. It was so.
Yeah, it was a lot of more people than what we have today. But welcome in, Mama Nancy. Thank you so much for being here. The Mustard Drill, as always, Scott. Thank you so much for being here. He left you a message here, Keith, and we're going to read it. It says, Keith, I had to fill in for you on the Philly episode, but I needed like 4 hours to do that.
Well, I think eventually one of these days I might have to take a ride down to Philly and do some vlogging just to
there you go.
Throw it on my channel. But I told my wife, I've been so busy is that I wanted to do some stuff in the city. I live in New York. I should get some of these places in New York and all that, which I want to try to get.
Well, I do have a question for you, Keith. Were you around anywhere in Manhattan when these two decided to just climb up the Empire State Building, since you live so close to that?
Well, I heard, and then they got proposed. One proposed to the other on top. I mean, I'm sorry.
They proposed. The guy proposed to her, but you know that these people are like famous. Like they do that for a living.
Well, they do that for views. To me, there's certain things you do for views, and I don't know if it was them. So years ago, I worked on a job of 47th to 7th, right? So it used to be the Marriott, but it bought by so many different people since then, right? It's where the NFL store was and the M&M stores. M&M store is still in there, right? Mm-hmm. One time, I think it was like during the holidays, the whole place was closed. Someone just got on top of the building, went all the way to the top, climbed on top of the crane, and put it on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
The DOB wasn't happy and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, what are you supposed to do? I mean, it's not like the guy went in the gate where the security is. We have security there. They went from another building and jumped off the building into the other building. That's how they got to the top.
Well, according to the news, because I was hearing the news that happened like maybe yesterday, the day before, supposedly the way that they did it was they actually purchased a ticket to go to the Empire State Building the day before, and they slept there through the night. And that's what happened. Because that's what they told the cops. They slept there through the night, and that's how they got to the other side. And they waited till the morning to then go all the way to the top and do everything that they did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Supposedly that's what it was.
I mean,
Muncie, thank you so much for being here.
To me, I don't think that you should try to put your life in danger with some of these dudes. Like even down to like some of these pranks. Like I see this one guy, I'm telling you, one of these days, this guy is gonna get shot, right? So he likes his content is, he's Spanish, so he puts in like a Spanish Mexican accent, American Mexican accent. He goes, yo, Holmes, this, that. But he likes to go into the ghetto neighborhoods where the gangs are, and he acts like he's going to fight them, this, and that. And then he runs away. He goes, it's a prank. But the fact is, one of these days, one of them is going to, be
fighting games until it's not.
Almost in every video, someone's getting ready to pull out a gun. Every video. I'm like, don't get me wrong. It's good entertainment for us to watch. But the fact is, one of these days, someone is going to actually pull it out.
Yeah.
And actually shoot.
I don't know. The things that people nowadays do for views, like these people that got onto the Empire State, it's just beyond. But Netflix is behind them, and I think I think it was all a stunt because I actually watched the documentary, and it was saying at the end that their next place of going was going to be New York. So I think that all of this with the Empire, I think it's all a stunt.
Probably.
No. They might be sponsored by one of these big places.
Well, they're sponsored by Netflix.
Yeah, so they're sponsored by Netflix. They're filming this on their own. But obviously, if they get caught, they probably have something where if they get caught, Netflix is going to deny the whole thing, right? That they sponsor this and that. And the fact is, they're going in these places, putting their life at risk. And if one of them fall, they're going to try to sue the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
that's exactly what'll happen. So that's why
there should have been more security or something. I'm like, why are you doing stuff that you're not supposed to?
Maybe because I remember when that person did it at the job, I went into the video and I started like complaining about them, like talking trash about it. Everyone was getting mad, but I was literally just trying to tell everybody. I said, if these people fall off of that job on the construction site, guess what happens? That job is shut down for months, if not a year. So that means all the people who work on the job had nothing to do with these people going in there and falling down. Guess what happens? They're out of work. Mm-hmm. Because someone wants to try to be courageous and put these views and all that. And that probably could also be the same deal with the Empire State Building.
Yeah, you never know.
Because these people fall off the Empire State Building, they're going to shut that building down for at least a day or two, if not more. So
they shut it down. They shut it down once they were up there. They had to shut down the antenna. They shut the building down. They actually, there was like maybe a block or two that they shut down just in case something were to happen and things like that. It was just crazy. And like I thought about it, and I said Keith might be over there watching it. I thought you had some sort of a vlog.
So there's a whole nother story that has already wiped that story off the face of the earth. So, too, you heard about the construction buildings in New York, right?
The ones that fell the other day or something like
No,
that?
The one that
no,
collapsed, that not collapsed, but
it's slowly starting to collapse.
yeah,
and
I saw that
everything.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
So,
crazy.
so that one is taking over everything because that's the one. Because basically, from what I saw on the pictures from the outside, it looks because it's a renovation project. I think they built that part of the building on top of an existing building.
Mm.
You know, so. But
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the columns were all bending in. That was a
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. So
But are people living there?
no. Well, I don't know if there's people living down below. There might be people living down below of the pre-existing building. I don't know if there's renovation in
Well,
there.
they better get them out of there.
Well, I know they evacuated everybody from the building next door. I think they evacuated everybody over there. So and now, you talk about a couple hundred workers are going to be out of work because obviously this company, I think they call like CMM, CNN, so something, not CNN. Obviously, that's the news channel.
Right.
But I think it's TMM, CMC, something like that, right? So obviously they try to rush the job, rush, but not take your time, make sure everything is structured properly, it's done correctly. Obviously,
I feel bad for that company.
yes, the workers do the work, they screwed up, but the GC also has to monitor them to make sure that they don't screw up.
Right.
And if that happens, this is on them. And if something like this happens, site safety, and not only this is also on top of site safety. Site safety is going to be in trouble because if someone dies, site safety, these people who have the job, like site safety, head supers, they could go to jail if this thing collapses and kills people.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's actually start our Across the Wave show. Let's check out all of the revisit things that we're going to talk about Seattle. For those of you that didn't watch my live stream yesterday, I actually was talking about Seattle versus Vancouver when you travel or on a cruise from either port. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Let me know what you think. Give it a like. And for those of you that are here, hit that like button. It'll help our channel a whole lot. Keith, Escapades with Jeff T and Travel Adventures. So here we go. Let's roll. Well, guys, welcome back to another Across the Wave show. Today, we're back in Seattle. And weirdly so, I was talking about Seattle yesterday, and that port is not only just one of the best ports to visit out of because it has a lot of great things to go and do on that port. But the Port of Seattle also has a really cool history, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So it's the Port of Seattle is not only like a public agency based in King Country in Washington. It oversees the seaports of Seattle and the Seattle-Tacoma International as well, with an array of different types of properties ranging from parks, waterfront, the real estate there, to the largest airport and container terminals in the West Coast. The Port of Seattle is one of the Pacific Northwest leading economic engines. And like yesterday, when I was talking to you guys on my live stream about Seattle, there is so much history and so many different things to do there. I remember one of the things that we talked about was the Pike's Place and the Amazon, that they have the cashless market and all of that stuff there. So within history, like when you are looking at Seattle, the actual port, it has come a long way. So could you imagine being a fisherman back in 1912, over the course of more than a century? The Port of Seattle has provided facilities for an expansion of Seattle shipping trade, later including a container ship and Seattle-Tacoma International. And also it helped generate increasing economic activities in the area. Although it is the Second World War halter, much of the global shipping trade and was impacted by the economy there in Seattle. And it became a major port after the war. So could you imagine having to go through that war, back in that time? It was just crazy to know that now it is one of the most popular ports to get out of. As early as the 1890, a person by the name of Virgil has proposed public ownership not only in the Seattle port, but all the ports then newly from the specific states. As part of the gaining statehood, Washington has gained control over its own coastal waters during that time. And in 1910, the pressure toward public ownership of the port facilities increased when Tacoma, Washington began building the state's first municipality-owned dock. So in March 14, 1911, the Port District became state law, allowing the formation of its ports district. The Port of Seattle was created in the state of Washington in 1911 under the Port District Act. The port construction plan had to be presented and voted upon before construction could ever start. So if we go back a little bit, from the first of the Port of Seattle was faced with the fact that most of the key properties on the Central Waterfront and the Elliott Bay. The port commissioned the first automobile ferry in Western Washington, with which it was launched back in December 6th of 1913. A more conservative port commission in 1920 largely put the end to the new innovative of this sort. Seattle and the state of Washington are not well positioned coming into the Great Depression that began in the 1929 due to overfishing and excessive lodging. During World War II and after the economic depression and labor troubles of the 1930s, even before the U.S. entered the war, export of scrap metal to Japan, of course, went to zero, and export for Eastern Washington apples to Europe fared a little better, but the Soviet Union was newly an ally. The U.S. Entry into the war brought us further changes. While the war was where the boom time of Seattle and the port immediately post-war years were not, the port was not entirely without a strategy. In 1949, the U.S. Department of Commerce designated on Harbor Island, and urging the local business community, the port invested heavily in gains and designation and buildings of the facility. And by 1952, it was clear that the Seattle maritime sector had not made the post-war recovery during that time. So despite Burke's best efforts, federal changes that introduced a sliding scale to maritime shipping rates in the early 1950s. In 1960, the M&M put the ports and labor unions of the West Coast of America, including Seattle. In the summer of 1962, the World's Eyes of Seattle, as a host of the Century 21 Exposition, a World's Fair, the port announced a U.S. $300 million plan to build a major new container port during that time. And naturally, advantages of not always on Seattle's side. For example, the Totem Ocean Trailer Express, founded in 1975. The port further expanded in 1980 with the growth of China trade and port increased capacity. It is in its early years, the port had contended the fact that most desirable properties on the central waterfront, and one of the deteriorating properties in question was the port-owned headquarters of the Bell Street Pier. Into the 21st century, the Bell Street Pier cruise terminal opened in 2000, bringing heavy cruise ships to Seattle for the first time in decades. So in the wake of the September 11 attacks, the security became a major priority during that time, and another round of West Coast maritime labor disputes in September 2022. And in 2007, Tay Yoshanti joined the organization as CEO, and they had a newly elected commissioner, and CEO Yoshanti implemented a series of reforms, including increased commissions oversight in the port construction. In 2012, the port commissioners began outreach to the Century Agenda. And in October 7 of 2014, the Port of Seattle and Port of Tacoma announces an agreement to jointly market and operate the marine terminals. So as you can see, they continue to grow and grow and grow. And the Seattle port is one of the biggest, not only one of the biggest ports, but also one where a lot of cruise ships, and they have a lot of movement of people during the Alaska season. So that is all that I have for the across the wave history of the port. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to take you back to Keith, in which we are so happy to have Keith back on the show. So Keith, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Before I start, I want to welcome in, obviously, my wonderful wife, Joanne, and Emily. Thank you for coming in. I haven't seen you on here in a long time, so I hope everybody out there is doing well. So let's get started with this actually port right here. So the weather today was 71, a high of 7, or it takes one high of 72, low 55. You don't know, in Seattle, it does rain a lot. So if you go there, you might want to bring definitely an umbrella and maybe a raincoat. Okay, so let's get off to the next part. And that is, what cruise ships do they have there today? Well, technically, they only have one, which is actually kind of odd because most of the time they have either 2 or 3. So today is just the NCL Joy. So more than likely, because they usually do like 7, 8 days out there. If it's on a Wednesday, NCL Joy might be coming back maybe from a 10-day. There's a possibility, because it's Wednesday in the middle of the week. But so the biggest ships, so when you're going out there to Seattle, right? The biggest ships you're going to get out of Seattle compared to Vancouver. That's one of the things that you're going to get out there, right? Another thing is, like, for example, like Carnival, right? So their crew, they have 2 ships out there. It's the Spirit and the Panorama, right? I know Spirit leaves on a Tuesday, and so they have the Spirit and the Miracle. I know they don't have I know they had the Panorama at one point, so they probably stopped that one. Okay, so it's the Spirit and the Miracle are out there, right? So they go on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's the thing, like, if you're going to go on these cruises, you're better off at taking NCL because they leave on the weekends, They have one ship that leaves usually on a Saturday. Another one leaves on a Sunday. Let me just double check what they have. Yeah, the Bliss is on Saturday usually, and the Encore is on Sunday. Okay, so they have that's a new. So the Joy is over there right now for a little bit, and then tomorrow is let's get down to tomorrow is the July 9th. And they have the Queen Elizabeth, the Miracle, and the new ship that's over there. Well, not their new ship, but it's a new ship that's leaving from the Alaska region, and that is the Brilliant Lady. Okay, so let's get on to actually some of these news stories. This one, I'm just going to read off. The FBI is telling everybody to be careful on cruises and to report any crimes that you see on cruises. Okay, so let's actually bring out some of these news stories, and here we go real quick. Okay. All right, so I don't know which one. Okay, let's start off with this Netflix documentary. So it's actually going to air on Friday on Netflix, so please do yourself a favor. If you don't have Netflix, get it. They did a really good job with the Poop Cruise. It's the same company. It's the same shipwreck that's going on. So if you don't remember, this was in 2012. I'm just going to give you, I don't know why this thing, I only have an X. I can't even knock it off, whatever. So this was the Costa Concordia, right? The Costa. So it capsized. Basically, the ship it hit something off the coast of Italy, and then went underneath, and now the ship is still under the water. Right, and it's filled with gas, so the locals aren't too happy because they're saying that gas might be leaking, and people were also pissed off because they're saying, I mean, not for nothing, people are complaining that they're saying that why didn't the captain go down with the ship? Well, first of all, right, people can complain why the captain not go down with the ship. If I was a captain, make sure everybody's off and the ship goes down. I'm not going down with the ship. One, it's not his ship. It's a Carnival Corporation ship. So let someone who owns Carnival Corporation go down with the ship, not the captain that they just hired who's worked for you. I mean, I don't know why some people would get mad saying that the captain did not go down with the ship, but the fact is, the captain probably more likely does not own the ship. He doesn't even own a part of the ship. Nothing. He just works for them. All right. So let's get on to the next story because so don't forget to watch it. I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to put out a video on it and I'm going to do a full review on that right there. Let's see. Anything? All right. Just checking all right, I was just reading the comments, anything that needs to be put out there. All right, so that's the Netflix part. All right, so let's get this is a very interesting one. So these next two, I actually have the video out on both of them. So in the comments, you're gonna see a link from the night part. So these next two stories are actually in one video. All right, so this is a very, very interesting video as a teacher from England, right? I'm gonna scroll down so you can see who she is, right? All right, so she not a teacher, she's a principal at a school in England. I mean, the thing that's I don't know, man, this is crazy. What she did to get onto a cruise is something honestly I thought I would never. I mean, you've seen so many of these things go on, but something like this, I really thought I would never see something like this, right? It's one of these stories. I really did not think that a principal would adjust the school year so that she could get on not to one, but two luxury cruises. One of them she adjusted. So she adjusted the end and the beginning of the school year to move them around. And that's it. And let's see where it says right here. I know, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find where. Okay, so she moved the end of the fall term and delayed the start of the spring term to the school school schedule to match her travel plans. And to make matters even more crazy, which I'm not going to scroll down, I'll just tell you, she used oh man, I'm surprised she's not arrested. She used the school's money to go on these cruises. That's one. And also she used the school's money and this was in 2024, right? She used the school's money also to pay for trips that she had like in 2022, 2023. She used it to pay for camping supplies so she could take a family camping. I mean, I don't know how she's not even arrested. I mean, this is crazy. So let's go on to the next story real quick, and then I'm going to pass this along. I mean, this is nuts right here. But the next one, so I'm going to put it out here, but it's, I guess if you have kids, you might want them to, sounds to ears real quick. All right. So basically, the FBI charged a cruise ship hairstylist for assaulting guests with fake massager. So basically, what he did. So this happened on the Brilliant Lane, right? So he's a hairstylist. He would tell these customers, book 2 appointments with me, and you're going to get a complimentary massage. Mind you, he's not a masseuse. He doesn't give massages. Virgin doesn't offer this. He's offering this on his own in order to give these women massages. So he went there to give them massages, and obviously there was no happy ending to these massages for him, right? Or them, because one, what he did, he broke the law, right? He molested these women, right? That's basically what he did. He molested them by giving them these massages in order to get them naked and do whatever he did there, right? On the other thing, he did get arrested, and he could face up to 10 years, right? They're saying there's about 4 to 5 women, so he could face up to 2 years per crime. So for each woman, 2 years. Boom. So that's why I say 8 to 10 years, because they're saying about 4 to 5 women. But he was arrested by the FBI. All right, so let's get on to let's pass this off to Jeffy, and that is it.
guys. So I guess if you want, just put me up. I'll show my pictures later. Oh, there you go. That's fine. That works. Okay. I did actually visit Seattle a few years ago. I went to an Alaska cruise and I did a few things. So I thought maybe if I wanted to talk about that, but I think I wanted to keep it a little bit more structured. And then based on that, I will go. So of course, we're going to do around the port. And as we all know, we're talking about Seattle. So Seattle, Washington is one of the Pacific's Northwest most vibrant cities and serves as a major gateway for Alaska cruises, which I kind of mentioned, with 2 convenient cruise terminals, which is very important in this case. If you guys are going to Seattle, know that there are 2 cruise terminals. I'm going to talk about this one, which is Pier 66, which is on the downtown waterfront, and then Pier 91, which is just north of downtown. Very important. Because I didn't know this. And then when I got there, I found myself like, wait, which terminal am I going? And then again, like I just mentioned, one of them is in downtown and then the other one is up a little bit north. Visitors have easy access to some of the city's most iconic attractions, whether you have a few hours before boarding your ship or a full day after your cruises. Seattle offers an exciting mix of history, culture, waterfront scenery, outdoor recreation, and world-class dining. From soaring observation towers and bustling public markets to beautiful parks and fascinating museums, there is no shortage of memorable experiences near the cruise port, and this is very true. When I went, I was very surprised. I would say that Seattle is a place that I would love to live. Beautiful, clean. The weather was amazing. I was like dumbstruck. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Well, one of the first places that I'm going to be talking about, and what we did in this case, me and my sister, who I went with, what we did was we did a day before. So we did a few things the day before, and then when we came back into port, we did the rest of the things after. So I'm going to just talk about some of the places to visit, of course. Pike Place Market, which is, Jackie already mentioned before. It's one of Seattle's most famous attractions. Pike Place Market is located just a short walk from Pier 66 and only a brief ride from Pier 91. Established in 1907, this is one of the oldest continuously operating public farmers markets in the United States. Visitors can browse hundreds of local vendors selling fresh seafood, artisan cheese, flowers, handmade crafts, baked goods, and locally roasted coffee, which is another interesting thing. Just so you know, of course, Starbucks is from Seattle and the original Starbucks is there. And we saw it. We didn't go in because it was a long line to get into that Starbucks. Anyway, one of the market's biggest attractions is the famous fish market, where fishmongers entertain crowds by tossing large salmon across the counter before wrapping purchases. So colorful flower stalls, those are beautiful. I saw those. Independent bookstores, specialty food shops, and hidden stairways filled with local art. Very true. Art make every visit unique. I was dumbstruck by it again. Beneath the main market level, visitors will discover quirky boutiques, antique stores, comic shops, vintage collectibles. Street performers often provide live music throughout the day, creating a lively atmosphere and captures Seattle's creative spirit. There's also the Seattle waterfront. The Seattle waterfront stretches along Elliott Bay and offers spectacular views of the water, ferries, and surrounding mountains. The waterfront was undergone extensive redevelopment in recent years, creating wider pedestrian spaces, improved parks, and easier access to the shoreline. So very cool. Visitors can also enjoy a leisurely walk while watching ferries depart nearby islands, or simply relax while taking in fresh ocean air. Now, numerous seafood restaurants line the waterfront, serving fresh Pacific Northwest specialities, including salmon, Dungeness crab, I hope I'm saying that right, oysters, and clam chowder. Several souvenir shops, cafes, and public installations make the waterfront an enjoyable destination for both during the day and sunset. Now, of course, a very special and very iconic spot, the Space Needle. I managed to go. Perhaps the Space Needle is the most recognizable landmark. The Space Needle was built in 1962 World's Fair and stands 605 feet above the city's skyline. A high-speed elevator transports visitors to the observation deck in under a minute, and that was awesome. I'm telling you, that was really cool. At the top, the panoramic views stretch across downtown Seattle, Elliott Bay, the Mount Rainier, Olympic Mountains, and Cascade Range, Mount Rainier. amazing. I'm going to show you guys some pictures that we flew super close to Mount Rainier when we were on our way to Seattle. Breathtaking. It's incredible. The upper level features floor to ceiling glass walls, while the rotating glass floor below allows visitors to look directly down over the city streets. Interactive displays explain Seattle's history, architecture, and geography, making the experience both educational and visually stunning. Now, there's also the Chewley Garden and Glass, located next to the Space Needle. Chewley Garden and Glass showcases the extraordinary glass artwork of Dale Chewley. I hope I'm saying this right. One of the world's most celebrated contemporary glass artists. The museum contains several galleries, featured enormous colorful glass sculptures, intricate chandeliers, delicate floor-inspired creations, and dramatic ceiling installations. Outside, the garden seamlessly blends vibrant glasswork with living plants and flowers, creating one of the Seattle's most photographic attractions. The centerpiece is an impressive glass house featuring a massive suspended sculpture stretching more than 100 feet across the ceilings. There's also the Seattle Center. Surrounding the Space Needle is the Seattle Center, a cultural campus offering entertainment, museums, gardens, festivals, and live performances. Visitors can explore beautiful public spaces, attend concerts, enjoy seasonal events, or simply relax on the expansive lawns. Families often spend several hours here thanks to its wide variety of attractions, and that's true because it's super awesome. Now, throughout the year, Seattle Center hosts cultural festivals celebrating food, music, dance, traditions, and traditions around the world. Another interesting place to visit, which I visited, is the Museum of Pop Culture, MoPop. It's music, film, science fiction, and gaming enthusiasts should not miss the Museum of Pop Culture. Designed by renowned architect Frank Gehry, the building itself is a work of art with its colorful metallic exterior. Inside, visitors can explore exhibits dedicated to rock music, horror films, fantasy, video games, science fiction, and Seattle's influential music history. Interactive exhibits allow guests to play musical instruments, record songs, experiment with sounds mixing, and discover memorabilia, from artists including Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana. There's also the Seattle Aquarium, which I also visited. Located directly into the waterfront, the Seattle Aquarium introduces visitors to the marine life of the Pacific Northwest. Exhibits feature playful sea otters, harbor seals, octopuses, jellyfish, colorful fish, and touch pools where visitors can safely interact with sea stars and I don't even know how to say that, so I'm just going to skip that. Educational presentations explain the importance of marine conservation and unique ecosystems. The unique ecosystem. So it's very cool. I'm telling you, the Seattle Aquarium, I was very surprised. It was just great. The aquarium is an excellent stop for families and everyone interested in marine biology. Now, there's also the Seattle Great Wheel, which is literally right there next to the aquarium. So towering above the waterfront, the Seattle Great Wheel provides spectacular views of Elliott Bay and Seattle skyline. The enclosed gondolas make the ride comfortable in nearly any weather. And each rotation lasts approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Evening rides and especially memorable as the city lights reflect across the bay. Now, there's also Pioneer Square. History lovers will enjoy exploring Pioneer Square, Seattle's oldest neighborhood. Beautiful brick buildings, historic architecture, and art galleries, cafes, and boutique shops line the street. Guided underground tours take visitors beneath the city and explore remnants of the old Seattle buried under the Great Seattle Fire of 1889. The neighborhood also features numerous public art installations and historical landmarks that illustrate the city's early development. There's also the Olympic Sculpture Park. Operated by the Seattle Art Museum, the Olympic Sculpture Park is a free outdoor museum located along the waterfront. Visitors can stroll through a beautiful landscape featured large-scale sculptures while enjoying views of Puget Sound and the Olympic Mountains. Making paths connect gardens, beaches, and scenic overlooks, making this an ideal destination for a peaceful afternoon. Now, there's also Cary Park, which is also slightly further from the cruise terminals, but Cary Park also offers many, what many would consider, in this case, Seattle's most iconic skyline view. From this small hilltop park, visitors can photograph the Space Needle rising above downtown with Elliott Bay and Mount Rainier, often visible in the distance on a clear day. Sunrise and sunset provides spectacular sighting opportunities for photography. And if you guys don't know, sunsets are my favorite. So going down to food. Now, Seattle's food scene. Seattle is renewed for its exceptional culinary offerings, fresh seafood, and highlight, with restaurants serving wild salmon, halibut, oysters, mussels that are harvested from nearby waters. Coffee lovers will appreciate Seattle's rich coffee culture, while food enthusiasts can sample international cuisine reflecting the city's diverse population. Local bakeries, craft breweries, and waterfront restaurants offer countless opportunities to experience Pacific Northwest flavors. So, and all in all, Seattle provides just passengers with an exceptional introduction to the Pacific West, whether exploring the lively atmosphere of Pike Place Market, admiring breathtaking views from the Space Needle, discovering colorful glass art, strolling along the revitalized waterfront, or immerse themselves into the city's rich history of culture. Visitors will find countless memorable experiences within easy reach of the cruise terminals. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you guys some of the pictures that I have, of course, from my visit in Seattle. This is from the airport, as you guys can see. This is when we got there. This is me. This is me again. Me with my sister. And then this is at the, well, this was the line. This is a whole other story. Anyway, so here we are. This is on our way to Seattle. Look how beautiful the city looks. This is amazing. There is the Space Needle. And then that metallic building that's down there, that's the Museum of Pop Culture, which is Mopop. So that's what it was talking about when it said the metallic outline of it, or the outside. And then these are the streets. See, this is one of the signs to the museum. That's the Space Needle. This is one of the parks, the many, many, many parks that Seattle has. Of course, my first day, Space Needle. I saw these. These were really incredible. They're beautiful. That's us. Wow, guys, I have a lot of pictures of the Space Needle. Okay, so this is inside the Space Needle. There we go. See, like construction, and then the bolts, and then everything that they needed, like what they use in order to build this. That's how thick and how big the bolts are that hold the Space Needle. It was incredible. It's really nice. It's very interactive and super cool. See, like a little scale model and how the construction is. This is already when you're getting, the Lego set, this is when you're getting ready to hop in the elevator, the quick, fast elevator. So this is it. Let me see if this is a video. I think this is a video. Let me see.
Welcome to the Space Needle. Hopefully that you can enjoy the view on your way up. We're going at 10 miles an hour up to 520 feet. It's going to take us approximately 41 seconds to get to the top. The building itself is 605 feet tall. Once you get to the top, you look for the bar, the revolving glass door, the observation deck, the cafe, the lounge, and yes, even the restroom. Once the elevator comes to a stop, you can go to your left or right. As you're walking around, you can follow the signs, or you can ask one of our team members.
All right, so if you see right there, that port, that little bit of port that we got to see, that's the Pier 91, which is a little bit further up north. All right, so that one right there. So perfect. Right here, this is the other pier, not the one that's right there on downtown. This is the one that's a little bit further. Normally, that's where we went. So that's where Royal Caribbean and, how do you say this? Royal Caribbean and... oh my God, Celebrity were there. And then in the one in downtown, I saw Norwegian. They were the ones that were there. So these are my pictures from the Space Needle, my sister. There's Mount Rainier. Beautiful. I am going to have to look for the picture. Hold up, because you guys have to see this. Like, it's not even joking. It was before we got here. Let me see. Before all this, Seattle. Okay, look at this. Look at these. Look at this, guys. Like, this was on my flight. Look, I was on the window, and look how close we were from Mount Rainier. Like, incredible, like insane. All right, so let me just go ahead and try to skip forward. So we went to the Space Needle. After the Space Needle, so what we did, which is very interesting and something that I could definitely recommend, It's called, we use the pack. Oh, this is the view. That's super awesome. I could literally go all day talking about this because look how beautiful this is. All right, so we used, this is when we went on our cruise. What we did use was it was a package that's called C3. You could buy this and it has you see 3 sites in the city. So what we ended up doing was we saw the Space Needle. You have a certain amount of days to use it. We got there, we purchased it, we did the Space Needle, and then when we came back from our cruise, we did the Seattle MoPop. So we did the Museum of Pop Culture, and then we also went to the aquarium. So I'm going to try to find these because I have a lot of pictures. If not, I guess I'll leave it at this. And let me see. I think it's easier to go this way. I don't know if some of you have been following my Instagram stories or at least my Facebook stories. You guys should see and Escapades with Jeffy that that I have been uploading these pictures. There we go. Let's see. So this is when we got back. Okay. And there's the wheel. And this is on our way to the aquarium. See? Seattle Aquarium. And then there's a Seattle Aquarium. Super nice. Super interesting. This is the octopus that they had there. All right, let me see if I could take this one. There you go. I took a lot of pictures and videos because this was I love aquariums. And it's funny because I have one here in Tampa and I don't go to it. But yeah, these are the sea lions and these are the otters. Oh, no, those were the otters. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. These are the sea lions, I think. There we go. All right, so I had a really good time. I mean, it's incredible. I would definitely go again. This is a puffin, by the way. There you go. All of this is in the aquarium. We also went to, of course, the Pike Marketplace. See, there I am. Look at me. Yeah, there we go. And this is the marketplace. It was amazing, guys. I definitely recommend this. If you guys have a chance to go, definitely go. But that's all I have for you guys for around the port. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let's bring everybody in. But before, let's do a announcement. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've got an exciting group cruise announcement for you. This time around, it's going to be a very special occasion, as we have managed to get an invite to the inaugural sailing of the one and only MSC World Atlantic. This time around, we'll be sailing out from Port Canaveral in Orlando, Florida on November 13th, 2027. From there, the ship will be docking at Nassau in the Bahamas on the 14th and MSC's private Ocean Cay Marine Reserve on the 15th. After that, there'll be a relaxing day at sea where you can be one of the first people to explore this lovely new ship. On the 17th, they'll be docking in Cozumel, Mexico, followed by Costa Maya in Mexico on the 18th. From there, a single day at sea will be taking you back to Orlando to conclude the inaugural sailing. Be sure to book your cabins quick, as inaugurals like this tend to sell out really fast. You can contact us at jagonzalez@expediacruises.com or call us directly at 813-608-2935. We hope to see you on board with us.
Hello. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. There's a lot of people that came in. We have a couple of people that came in, like Lulu, Margot. One of the cool things that I saw on here was, let me see if I could find it on the chat. It's this one. Muncie's grandpa, I believe Watkinsville Airport is either in Seattle or Tacoma, is named after my grandfather.
Oh, wow.
That is pretty cool.
Nice.
So that is pretty cool.
Different.
Yeah, that is really cool. So we're going to talk about the shore excursions, and Keith, you're muted, by the way. We're going to talk about the
okay, now I'm unmuted.
I just wanted to make sure that you were not talking and nobody can hear you. We're going to talk about shore excursions and dining, and I'm going to go first, Keith, to give you some time.
Well, you go first. I have 2 excursions up here, so if you pick mine, I can knock it out.
There you go. Prepare.
Right. So this is the one that I actually I picked. Let me see. Hold on. Yes, I think it's this one.
Oh, looks good.
Share with you guys. There we go. So this is the Best of Seattle City Highlights Tour. I picked this one. I'm big when it comes to highlighting different areas and kind of wanting to see, everything that specific place has to offer. It's $111 a person to go on this excursion. It's approximately about 4 hours. So it's not like a whole lot of an excursion, but at least it highlights the Pike's Place and different places like that. Mm-hmm. Like Jeffy was saying, when I go to Seattle, one of the places I want to go to the Amazon area. I want to definitely go to the first Starbucks, definitely Pike's Place, and probably another couple of other places that I would like to go and check out. Mm-hmm. But because Seattle, I heard really nice, good things about Seattle.
Seattle to me was so beautiful. Mm-hmm. I would go in a heartbeat, and I would go not even to go on a cruise. I would definitely go just to go, and explore a little bit more than what I couldn't explore.
Isn't it a little bit dangerous there? That's what I remember the last time we did it. That's what people were saying.
Look at this fish, guys.
Dangerous. I mean, I don't know. When I went, I felt pretty safe. I mean,
what about the homeless? Maybe it was. They said there was a lot of homeless.
Oh, I went back in 2023. I think I didn't have any problems. I loved it. I would definitely recommend going. I mean, again, I was out during the day. I wasn't out during the night, so I don't know. I
remember people saying it. This is from the last time when we did it, right? Mm. And obviously, it wasn't 2023. So, but I remember people saying it. But
what? I'm sorry. What was
I think they said, you know what? I don't know. It is what it is.
Well, there's some great pictures here. A lot of people that have gone to Seattle, they have posted their pictures here. Look at this. This is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I will say it is a little bit steep and uphill, so that people know it's not like flat. It's not Florida.
Right.
So it's a little steep and uphill because when I went with my sister, we were going up and down some hills, and we were like out of breath for a little bit. But
right.
And it was beautiful. I'm telling you.
A little bit about the overview. Seattle is a fun city to explore, but good luck finding parking if you rent a car and set out on your own. Make things easier on yourself with a guided tour of the Seattle that hits up highlights, including the Space Needle, Chinatown, and T-Mobile Parks Plus. Your guide knows the quickest way around. So you have what's included: professional local guide, fully narrated tour in English, pick up and drop off in the downtown Seattle airports. And they'll take you from Seattle to the Waterfall Garden Park, to Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park in Seattle, to the Pioneer Square, to London Field, Chinatown, T-Mobile Park, the Umahimaya, Seattle Public Library, Pike's Place Market, Hang Hay Park, the Space Needle, Queen Anne Hill, Cary Park, Amazon Sphere, Houseboats of Seattle, Gaswork Park Marina, University of Washington, Lake Union, Fremont, Fremantle, Olympic Mountain Range, Iram, and Chinten Locks, Seattle Waterfront, Seattle Great Wheels, Seattle Aquarium, and the Fisherman's Terminal. So for $111, I know a lot of these times are like 5 or 10 minutes. So I guess it's kind of like one of those things where you kind of like check
quick, take a few pictures and let's go. Or maybe they just have you by and explain it.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to highlight, I think Margot put it on the comments, and I'm going to go back to one of her comments here. is that she says she recommends the Seattle City Pass. It's one price and gives you access to a bunch of different places such as Space Needle Aquarium and even cruise around the harbor. So thank you, Margot, for that information.
That's exactly what I said. The C3. That's what I had mentioned. Yeah, that's what I did with my sister.
So go ahead and take it away, Keith, with your short excursion.
Yeah, it's actually a little different. So you're gonna get a tour of the way you get to Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Give you an idea.
By the way, the airport is not close to downtown. Right. Everybody knows. So
it's not. Now, I would say, okay, it's good to go here to the Boeing factory tour with a transport from Seattle. I just wouldn't recommend flying on the Boeing. No, the wing might fall off. But
that's a different type of
Boeing. Be flying on a Boeing. That's cool.
No, I'm just saying, dude. Don't you remember the Boeing airplanes? It was on Alaskan Airlines. The wing fell off.
What?
I'm out. You know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember that.
I went on Alaska Airlines to Seattle directly from Tampa.
So there you have it. See.
Thank God I didn't hear about that.
At least you didn't.
There's something with the Boeing airplanes that they say it's not.
Hey, Bill, welcome in.
Welcome in, Bill. Okay, so, but you get to see how the airplanes are made and all that stuff.
That's fun, though. That's very different. I didn't know they had that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I know.
That's actually cool.
No, it is pretty cool because if you look at this picture right here, they're actually showing the seats up top. I mean, I don't know if they're making that into like a little ride for people to go up there.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. I thought that was the wing that fell and they were just putting the wing there.
This is what recovered. This is what we got. Here you go. That's my stuff.
Okay, so the food, and this is $135 a person. And it's about a 4.5 hour excursion.
That's not bad at all.
And obviously, let's see, Seattle Pass and Boeing Future of Flight. So that's basically what it's to me, it's a good experience to do. You know, it's something different. You know, it's like, for example, when you go down to Orlando, it's like going to the Space Center. It's something different.
Right,
right. You know, you're using that. So I have a restaurant. Well, it's not. So let me say the restaurant. It's a lounge, but it's not open yet. It opens up in the fall.
All right. So let's see it.
So it's actually inside that building. What's that building called?
The Space Needle.
I think it's Space Needle. It's inside there.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Wait, before you do that, can you show? There's a picture. I show something that's me. Fangirling in the Museum of Pop Culture because I love Resident Evil. I don't know if anybody knows that. I love Resident Evil. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. And then this was a prop. This is the actual, I guess, the suit that this person used. His name was Matt, if I'm not mistaken, for one of the biological weapons, which that's what that is, in the movie. So I was fangirling. You have no idea. Look at my face. You can just see it on my face. It was the Museum of Pop Culture to me was a great experience as well. I mean, so I just wanted to put that out there because I didn't show that. But yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Well, talk about Resident Evil real quick. I like the video game better than the movies.
Yes, I agree.
I'll be honest. I mean, the movie's not bad, but I think they compared to what the video game is,
right?
The movie, they did a poor. I believe they did a poor job.
Yeah, and then there's a new one coming now in September. The new Resident Evil is dropping in September. It's not following any of the video games. It's not following nothing. It's just a Resident Evil movie. So
I wish they did one that followed the Chris Redfield character from the video game.
Yes, and I feel like they should do a series because they already did one in Netflix and it sucked. They should do like season 1, the mansion, season 2, the city, season 3, like each game a season because they could do that and there's a lot of material to.
Oh yeah,
but anyway.
Here we are. So let me get to this place, the Space Needle. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down quick. So they're going to have a lounge, the Lupe Lounge or whatever. Okay, so boom! Look at that.
Oh, that looks fancy.
Let's see.
That does look fancy.
Yeah, more. I'm going to zoom over
that's
here.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom over here, everybody. It's probably not going to be cheap to eat. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. So they do
That's
have.
You know what? I might get to
Nothing in
try
Seattle
it
is
when I
cheap, by
go
the
next
way.
year. I might get to try it when I go next year.
Yeah, nothing in Seattle is cheap, by the way. Letting
Yeah,
everybody know.
before I go to the menu, I'm going to scroll past the drinks so you guys can actually see it. I'm not going to click on them. So
That looks cool. That looks
Wow,
like
look at those drinks.
wow.
the sea
The sea
espresso,
espresso.
supernova spritz, and oh wow. Okay, so if you see over here, it's a tower of like appetizers you're getting. So let's start. Okay, let's start with this one.
Ooh, the butcher.
Okay, so I see each one of them is like sea related, maybe land related. Okay,
Yeah, so then it tells you, look, first course, second course, dessert.
Wow.
very nice.
So this is what you're going to get in all of them. So it's actually not bad, I just don't know how much it's going to cost, obviously, because it's the restaurant.
It's still not open, so they don't have the prices.
Well, I want to put this out there because I believe that this is something that
Wow.
Unique.
If you have the funds, I would say recommend doing it, but
right, it looks like a unique experience.
Put it in your head. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm gonna start saving because I'm gonna have to go check that out when I go over there next year.
Yeah. Put in your head that it's not gonna be cheap, but also if you're looking to do some videos, vlogging, this is gonna be a perfect place to record stuff.
Definitely.
Go there, try to get as many different drinks as you can. Don't drink them all because you might walk off the needle, but
bump into one of those glasses and then suddenly
fall. My God.
I mean, it does look like a really, really nice food. I just wish I could find like a. Hold on, let me scroll down. Where did I see that? Was it down here? Oh, we got more pictures here. I didn't know that. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm not gonna really. Okay, let me click another one real quick and see if it shows you
a garden space.
Yeah, that's good. See, it opens in early September, so it's gonna open up in September. First course for okay, let's see if I hit view all packages. Maybe. Oh,
it brings you back to that. I guess it's because it's not open yet, so it might be that they don't have the pricing and all of that.
Right, but I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, this is what they're showcasing. Yeah, this is crazy. This looks really nice.
I don't know. I clicked something, but let's go back. I don't know. I hit something, trying to scroll down. Next thing I know, it made my screen smaller. I couldn't get back to it, but yeah. Wow. But to me, I would recommend everybody, if you can go there. But it's better off if you're just there with like your husband and wife, but if you have like a whole bunch of kids with you and all that, I would probably say don't go there because you're probably going to spend, if you have a bunch of kids with you and your spouse, you can easily spend $1,000 there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to run between two people. It's going to be like going to a really, really nice steakhouse.
Right, that's what it looks like. It looks something more like that,
yeah. Price wise, the drinks in there, I'm telling you, the drinks are probably going to cost a minimum of $20 to $30.
Well, when I went to New York, I went to that Marriott hotel, the one that has the restaurant that goes around and you can see the whole New York State. I spent like about $1,500 on a meal there.
Wow.
And that was like
how many?
Huh?
How many people were there?
We were a party of 8.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I can understand that.
It was about $1,500. It was nice. Yeah. We did it at night. I wish it would have been during the day, but didn't have any appointments during the day, so we took the night one. It was kind of cool, but it was expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, definitely expensive. But I was gonna say if it was just like 4 users for $1,500, I'd be like, holy.
Yeah.
No. It was like about 8 of us.
Yeah. So it was because you got. I mean, yes, it still was expensive, but you got to figure some of these expensive places might be paying around $150 to $200 per person.
But you're also paying for the view, really much. That's what you're paying.
The location and the view, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume a place like that, the food ain't going to be top notch because it has the view.
Yeah.
Usually, when you have views like that,
I'll be honest, Steve. What was very weird is that it's going around. So if you got to go to the restroom, you got to figure out where the freak you are sitting. So when you're getting off and coming back in, you don't have to walk the whole restaurant trying to figure out where everybody's at.
So I knew a guy who went there one time, right? And he said he was loaded, right? He's like I went there, I went to the bathroom, come back. He goes, I couldn't find my seat. because everything was spinning. He goes, and then I stand on that and I'm spinning. He goes, I couldn't find it. He said it took him like 20, 30 minutes to
That's
find it.
That's crazy.
Well, guys, I have the crab pot. I can't eat any of this because of my shellfish allergy. But when you're in Seattle, it's all about the seafood. So here we go. Mm-hmm. We got the sourdough loaf and butter. You got the clam chowder, the prawn cocktails, the shrimp in shell, the calamari strips, crab stuffed mushrooms, crab cakes, which is their specialty, crab and shrimp dip, coconut prawns. Then they have salad like a whole wedge blue cheese, which is my favorite. Caesar salad. Then you got salmon tacos and shrimp tacos. Then you got the burgers, the salmon BLT, colossal burger combo. Then you got some seafood and chips, like 4 pieces of fish and chips, the halibut with chips, calamari and chips. You got the prawn and chips, the salmon and chips, the captain's combination, seafood feast for 2 or more. So here you guys go. So you guys enjoy all of this stuff. And the classic grill. And then you got some chicken, which they don't have any, grilled teriyaki chicken, grilled or chicken breast. They got some crab combos as well. If you're into the crab,
delicious.
Seafood market area. And things we thought you should know. Oysters are served raw. Fish is served undercooked. Burgers and steaks are cooked to order. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you guys enjoy that.
Yep.
That was really good.
And that's pretty much it for our Across the Way show. We went over by 8 minutes. But it's a great show today.
So what port we have next week?
We have the port of Mumbai, if I'm not mistaken, is the
Yes, we have Mumbai, but that's not next week because we don't have a show next week.
We don't have a show next week. It's going to be the following week.
It'll be 7/22. So the 22nd of July is when we're going to do Mumbai.
Oh. Well, I came back for 1 week.
Well, next week I'm going to be in Puerto Rico visiting my dad.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to be having a show next week, but the following week we are going to have a show. We're going to bring you to the port of Mumbai, and we're going to learn all things in Mumbai for sure.
Figure it out, yeah.
So yeah, but guys, thank you so much for being here today on the show. We love you guys all to the moon and back. God bless each and every one of you guys, and we will see you on the next one.
The next one, guys. You guys have a safe one.
Port of Mumbai. Toodaloo. Ta-ta for now. Love you guys.